The November artwork features Appmon, which makes me happy. Tentomon and friends use the Digibeetle to go camping to enjoy the autumn leaves. They set up their tents and spend the day relaxing. It's a peaceful time for everyone, even for Offmon, except for Onmon, who's struggling with setting up the tent. 2024 marks the 25th anniversary of the Digimon anime. To celebrate, Hiromi Seki, one of the original producers of the series, attended a special event in New York City on October 16th. Seki, who has been instrumental to Digimon's growth, has worked on 13 different Digimon series and films, including the recent Digimon Adventure, Last Evolution Kizuna, and Digimon Adventure 02 The Beginning. In an exclusive interview with CBR, she discussed her journey with Digimon and her thoughts on the franchise's legacy. Reflecting on her early days, Seki said, "First, I didn't sleep. I joined the animation company wanting to work on an original series, and Digimon Adventure was my first opportunity. My adrenaline was high. I didn't want to waste any time, so it was just fine that I didn't sleep at all." Seki emphasized the challenge of creating an original series in a company renowned for manga adaptations like Dragon Ball, Sailor Moon, and One Piece. Toei is known for adapting manga to anime, but they also used to create original animations. Legendary directors like Hayao Miyazaki and Isao Takahata started with Toei. By the time I joined, they had moved on, but their legacy of creating original work was inspiring. On Digimon's surprising global success, Seki shared, "We developed it for Japanese kids, so it was thrilling that it resonated worldwide. It was a happy surprise that children from various cultures accepted it." Seki also enjoyed working on other popular series like Zatch Bell, Magical Doremi, and Lovely Complex. "I was extremely busy working on both Digimon Adventure and Magical Doremi simultaneously, plus their films. Digimon was more about drama and action, whereas Doremi had gags and drama, which brought balance and happiness during those times." Seki expressed her thoughts on Last Evolution Kizuna and Digimon Adventure 02 The Beginning, which brought closure to the original Digidestined's journey. When we released Last Evolution in Japan, it was during COVID, so only a few theaters showed it, and we couldn't do an international release. It's a great honor to now share it with a US audience. She continued, "People often think Digimon Adventure's rival is Pokémon, but truly, Digimon's biggest competitor is itself. The mythology of the original series was so impactful that we needed to go beyond adventure to create something equally compelling. Last Evolution was a step toward closing one chapter to make room for new adventures. For Seki, the end of a story is a beginning for something new. Something ending isn't sad. Because something ends, you can start fresh. That's the mindset we had when producing Last Evolution." The second issue of Digimon Comics has been released right on schedule on the first day of November. Upcoming updates are slated for release in February and May. In Digimon Paradox Episode 2, titled Beyond the Rain, Eve faces a moral dilemma. She must eliminate Digimon to prevent humanity's extinction, but as time passes, she becomes uncertain if that's truly the right course of action. Striking a deal with the protagonist, Reiji, she agrees not to kill Appmon in exchange for his assistance, since returning to her future is not an option. She even attends Reiji's high school as his roommate to maintain her cover. As Reiji and Eve grow closer, she begins to question the idea of Appmon being the cause of the paradox. He doesn't seem like a weapon, but rather an entity with free will. Hailing from a bleak future where rain never ceases, Eve cherishes moments staring out the window at the clear blue sky of Reiji's era. Although she knows her duty, she longs to stay in this world where things are better, except for the network, which poses a risk of exposure to Dividramon. They dive into the net, encountering Metal Greymon Blue, and Appmon evolves into Dark Tyrannomon. Eve finds herself unable to erase any Digimon anymore, seeing them not just as weapons. However, a secret character is at play, seeking Eve and testing their strength. This comic essentially unfolds as a love story between the characters, with an underlying plot that remains unclear. There's also some fan service when the protagonist shares an intimate moment with a stereotypical fighting girl, typical of this genre. In a moment that seems to signal budding romance, Eve reveals she's an AI, not a human, just data like any other Digimon. But we know that while Digimon are data, they are also sentient, sparking the familiar moral dilemma. To be honest, in the context of Digimon, the idea of AI sentience feels somewhat redundant since all Digimon are data. In Digimon Knuckles, Gankumon explains that the protagonist's watch is a prototype gadget developed by his father, Hajime, and others. This device allows for the transfer of matter between the real and digital worlds. While on patrol, Gankumon, wearing Haruka's father's clothes, remarks that riding the train feels reminiscent of Trailmon. Gankumon gives a master class on the digital world, explaining how weak Digimon rarely survive. However, there is a unique parenting and schooling system where more developed Digimon nurture and protect those in their infancy stages. In a park, Vatramon appears, and Gankumon uses Hinukami to distract him, but Pajiramon also shows up. While his arrows don't inflict much damage, they can put a Digimon to sleep. Gankumon commands Hinukami to shield them from Pajiramon's arrows. Haruka wants to join the fight, not wanting to be seen as weak, but Gankumon reassures him, stating that not being able to fight doesn't make him weak. He emphasizes that they are partners, and Haruka must trust him. Gankumon then sends Hinukami to sleep after it gets injured. Haruka summons Etemon's mic and uses it to confuse Vatramon, providing Gankumon the opportunity to strike. Haruka mentions having seen Pajiramon's arrows in a dream related to his father, who told him he was too weak. The arrows manifest nightmares for those they hit, suggesting that someone powerful has been imitating that technique and urging the Deva Digimon to crave more power. As Deva, they are easily manipulated, indicating someone has sent them there. Gankumon reassures Haruka, clarifying that his father doesn't consider him weak. He explains that his father is a man of actions rather than words, aiming to set an example. Gankumon draws parallels with his own pupil, Appmon, who used to tell him that he preferred words over being taught by example. Digimon Recollection is essentially a collection of nostalgic references to Digimon. We see the protagonist punching Digimon in pure Masaru Diamond style, alongside Kokomon, Wendigomon, and Terriermon, reminiscent of the O2 movie. The protagonist collects various Digivices, reminding himself not to forget about Digimon just because he's grown up now. However, Kiramon shatters this dream, pointing out that their attempts to restore peace have resulted in the deaths of many Digimon as they closed the digital gate themselves. This reminder of the resentment felt by Digimon abandoned by humans triggers a dark evolution, bringing forth Chrysalimon. I love how the mini Digimon story of the Royal Knights by the legendary Yabuno Tenya unfolds as a series of typical yet welcome gags surrounding this elite group. Yggdrasil consistently issues bizarre and evil commands about destroying the world to bring about peace, while Omegamon is portrayed as a monk, meditating on these commands to make sense of them. Gankumon is tough on Hackmon's training, insisting he speak louder, but it's only because he's growing hard of hearing, fitting for a grandpa. His harsh demeanor towards Jesmon contrasts with his spoiling of Wanyamon. Dynasmon's reappearance, complete with his smoking habit, never gets old. Omegamon using his arms as puppets is hilarious, culminating in a DNA evolution that reveals his head beneath the cloth. In Digimon Seekers, the Crossroad Witch Ryudamon and Yulin execute a plan to pose as captives of Appmon, who brings them to Warumonzaimon for an exchange. Knowing humans are rare to Digimon, Ryudamon offers a hololized version of Yulin in exchange for Black Agumon to avoid confrontation and protect Saya's data. Yulin will return to Ryudamon's Digicore afterward. They are given several Black Agumon but realize the prisoners are just covered in dirt to appear black. During the fight with the ruthless Warumonzaimon, Dorumon appears, and Yulin, still in hololized form, distracts him to help free the captive minions. These Digimon rally to protect Ryudamon, who fights Warumonzaimon and with Yulin's support evolves into Hisharyumon. Just as Warumonseimon's attack plunges him into a dark depression, Yulin reminds him of his Bushido spirit, restoring his will to fight through their mind link, which helps them feel each other's emotions. Jumping between past and present, this prequel is especially exciting for those who already loved Digimon Seekers and craved more.